It all started with one simple thing: faith. For years, there was a dream in my heart to have a house and lot, resting peacefully on a hilltop with a breathtaking view. Not just any view, but one that brings peace. One that reminds you of God's goodness every time you look out the window. And so the prayers began. I prayed, and I kept praying. Days turned into months, months turned into years. But no matter how long it took, I never stopped praying. I held on to that dream because I believed that if God placed that desire in my heart, He would also make a way for it to come true. Then one day something happened. An opportunity came. A piece of land became available. And not just any land. It had the exact kind of overlooking view I had been praying for. Every detail aligned with what I had asked for in my quiet moments with God. It felt like a divine confirmation, a whisper from heaven that said, "This is it." With faith, we acquired the land. It was a miracle in itself. But that was only the beginning. The next challenge was this. We had no money to build the house. Yes, we had the land. But how could we put up a home without the funds? Still, I didn't lose hope. I started saving every peso I could. Slowly but surely, we gathered enough to maybe begin laying the foundation. It wasn't much, just enough to maybe put up a few posts, just enough to start something. But then something unexpected happened. As I prepared to use that money for construction, I felt a deep conviction from the Holy Spirit, a quiet but firm voice in my heart. It said, "Give it. Offer it." At first I hesitated. That money was all we had. It was supposed to be the seed for our house. But the conviction grew stronger. And so with trembling hands and a faithful heart, I gave it, every peso, as an offering. And that's when the miracle began. From places I didn't expect, from people I never asked, the provision started coming in. Doors opened, help came, materials were provided, laborers volunteered. One by one, every need was met. God began building what we could not. The house was being built, not by our strength, not by our plans, but by faith and by His hand. We watched in awe as something we once only imagined was slowly rising in front of us. And now, here we are. From nothing, to a dream, to a prayer, and now to a home. The house is nearly finished. Soon it will be fully furnished. And every time I look around, I'm reminded of one powerful truth. When God gives a vision, He also gives the provision. It didn't start with a blueprint. It didn't start with money. It started with faith. So if you're waiting on a promise, if you're holding on to a dream, if all you have is a prayer and a little faith, let me remind you, that's more than enough. God is faithful. He hears every prayer. And He moves in His perfect time. This house is not just built with bricks. It is built with faith, with prayer, and with the miracles of God.